Hello, my name's Anthony Sumroy and welcome to my third and final podcast, which is going to be on error handling. Now, you will get errors when using your program, so I'm going to just demonstrate a few of the most common errors that you might have come across. And as a new programmer, I would like to use this video podcast as a way to help improve your understanding of the error messages and how we can aim to avoid them in the future. What I'm going to do is use the if-else program that we use for the second podcast, just so it's easy to understand. Now, let's get started, and we'll open up this podcast, this program. Now, the first error I'm going to discuss is the dot comma expected error. Now, this occurs when you don't have a dot comma at the end of a line, which it's necessary to be at the end of that line. Now, I suspect when you started programming that you was typing away and you probably would miss out this dot comma in line, and it is one of the most common errors for every new programmer. Now basically it's a simple way to avoid it, and that is to just make sure that the lines that are necessary to include a dot comma do have that dot comma line, dot comma characteristic. When you compile it, it will run fine. Let's just demonstrate again. If you wasn't to use that, but put it back in, you'd see it there. And it doesn't have to be on the declared variables line up here, but if you was to just miss out where it was expected in another part of your program, you'll get the same error. But when you have them all in, you'll see that you have no syntax errors. Like I said, the usual situation where this would occur is when it's missing a dot comma at the end of a line of code. However, since a dot comma is not always required at the end of every program line, it's wise not to just simply add one just because you need to. You need to think about where you need to put your dot comma end line, and just make sure that it's in the correct place. Okay, moving on. We're going to look at another one, which is the cannot resolve symbol error message, and basically this means that BlueJ cannot recognise a word you've used that has been when you're trying to use a word such as grade, when it's been declared up here as grade. And just to show you, if you was to just misspell the variable name up here when you're using it in the next part of your program, then you'll get this error message here: cannot resolve symbol variable gade. And basically the gade, it's been spelled here as gade, but really it should be grade. And what it's done for you, it's told you exactly which line it's the error has occurred on. And as you can see, it's actually telling you that the variable name gade is not actually there, it should be grade. So if you was to add that R back in, you'll get class compiled, no syntax errors. Okay, so when declaring and using variable names, it's common to make this simple spelling mistake. So when this error comes up, you need to just sift through your program, make sure that wherever you've used a variable name, it matches the same name that is declared up here. Okay, it's the same when you're using the top one as well. Test score, it's up for test core, it's not there. So when you put the S back in, no syntax errors, and you're fine. Another similar error to this is the it's another cannot resolve symbol error, but this one is the class else error, or it's also known in some BlueJ versions as package system does not exist. And basically this is when using this line here, your print line statement. Again, it does happen if you spell it wrong. Obviously that item isn't spelled right when you compile it again, but the most common error which people might use is by using this lowercase s here. Now the lowercase s does not get recognised by the BlueJ environment, so you need to just you get this error message: package system does not exist, and you just need to make sure that in the future you use the capital S for system, and you'll find that you'll have no syntax errors and your program it'll run fine. Okay, this error that you get here, package system does not exist. It also occurs when you've used a method name but forgot to follow it by its parentheses of open and close brackets, such as up here. If you wasn't to use the open and close brackets here, then you'd get the same error message. But let's make our program correct. No syntax errors. Okay. Another common error that I'm going to discuss is the identifier expected error. Now, this occurs up here on this line. It's when you're writing your class name. Now, you are able to write a class name in lowercase if you like to, but the norm is that we use an uppercase character for the first letter of the class name. It just makes it look a lot nicer and a lot neater to look at. But the way you'll get this error that I'm talking about here is if you do put a space in there and you was actually happen to use a lowercase value. Now, as you can see here, okay, it's identifier expected, which means that you've got a space and you've got a lowercase letter at the start of the class name. So again, it's simple as it is. You will make this mistake. You might not make this mistake, but I'd suspect that you would have made this mistake at least once when you started programming in the writing software module. So you just make sure that you got a capital letter to start off the class name and there's no spaces. The only exception to this is by using an underscore. Now that is the only character that you can use which will be recognised and will not give you any compilation errors. But if you just stick to the capital letter at the start and no spaces, you'll be fine. Now that's all I need to show you in here, but I do have a few more which you might be interested in for more intermediate to advanced. And this is the incompatible types compilation or runtime error. For example, when you're running your program and you get the method call here, basically it's found a boolean but it requires a Java string. So basically BlueJ has found a boolean, true or false value, where it's expecting a string. Obviously I haven't done it here because that's not the program that I'm writing about, but it's just another one that I thought I'd like to show you. Another one is cannot return a value from a method whose result type is void, and this again is a compilation error. This involves two types of method. A getter method return a result and its signature heading line includes a result type. Setter methods don't return a result and include void in their signature. They mustn't include a return instruction. Again, this is for more advanced programmers, but you know, it's just nice to just make you aware of it. Okay, so that's the end of my final podcast, and thank you once again for watching this. And I'd like you to now just please follow this link down here, and just fill in my questionnaire. It just compiles of 10 questions that I need you to just fill out and just provide feedback, just to show me how you've thought about these podcasts and if you would use them in the future. And I'd like to think you would use them in the future, and but that's up to you. And I'd like to just comment on that for me. Okay, so thank you once again for watching my podcast, and hopefully I'll be writing some more soon. Okay, bye.